Some great moments there for Rohan Bopanna and Gabriela Dabrowski. Now, early on Friday, managed to catch up with the latest Indian to join the Grand Slam club. I began by informing Rohan Bopanna that from now on, I could and would address him as Rohan Bopanna, Grand Slam winner. Listen in.
Thank you so much, Diggy. Thank you very, very much. I mean, it's truly a proud feeling. Tough to describe it in words, to be honest. Especially starting my tennis all the way from Coorg to coming to play here in Roland Garros, and now being a Grand Slam champion, it's something extraordinary. And to be honest, I mean, today I'm actually feeling, the more happier I am of winning this title and feeling the joy and everything.
Yes, and Rohan, it's been a while coming. It must have been extremely frustrating coming close all these years. But finally, the monkey's off your back.
Well, Diggy, to be honest, it was purely a personal goal because, in 2010 when we made the final, as an athlete, you say, what is the next step after the final? And the next step after the final is to win, the title. And, of course, I've had a few close semi-finals losses at Wimbledon, and there's been a few heartbreakers, but I think it's probably the right time. I mean, probably I'm matured as a player so much with all the experienced partners I've had in the past, and also on the clay, I've changed my game a little bit. I'm not only serving in volleying, I'm serving in staying back and mixing a few things which I've adapted my game style to the surface. So those are a few things which has changed, and also as as a player, very, very much more mature, and I think I'm playing one of the best tennis of my career this year.
Rohan, you have been one of the stalwarts of Indian tennis for the last decade, but yourself, you will be the first to admit that having that Grand Slam under your belt now will get everyone looking at you in a completely different way. Sadly, that seems to be the way Indian sports is run.
I mean, I've always had great support from everyone, whether it's friends, family, or anybody from, India or wherever it may be. I don't think I look at the fact that, just because today I'm a Grand Slam champion, there is more support or there's more anything. But I think I encourage and I love that the support I've got, throughout these years. And, that's the best thing for me. And, the main important fact is that my family and friends are always behind me, irrespective of, whatever the result has been for the past so many years. So it always makes it special.
Yes, and lots of firsts, Rohan, this win. You getting your first Grand Slam, a first for you and Gabriela Dabrowski as a pair. She also becomes the first Canadian woman to win a Grand Slam. I must ask you, it must have been a big party on the Champs-Élysées last night.
No, actually, I think we were so overwhelmed with everything, and there was, so many messages pouring in and phone calls and everything. It was just overwhelming, and we all caught up, the whole team, the coach, the trainer, Gabby, my wife, all of us. We went out for a good dinner, and we just celebrated, having a nice meal together in Paris.
Yes, Paris is the place to party, Rohan. And let's talk about your campaign. Straight sets all the way to the final. There was also that tough one against Sania Mirza and Ivan Dodig in the quarterfinals. Good friends of yours and a team who beat you at the Australian Open in January.
No, absolutely. First of all, not easy playing, against friends. And like you said, in Australia, we had a close loss against them, having match points. I guess, this time it was meant to be, for us to go all the way. And, we've been playing well throughout the week. And yesterday to save a couple of match points and then take this victory was just fabulous.
Yes, you all saved match points. So let's talk about that final. It was a pretty intense game, extremely close. You came back well after losing the first set. But that super tiebreaker was nervy. Perhaps it helped you, Rohan, that at the Australian Open, you were playing super tiebreaks with Dabrowski till the quarters.
I mean, this time we didn't really play any super tie-breaks, but I think the fact that, in Monte Carlo with Pablo Cuevas and even after that in Rome, we played so many super tie-breaks. I was prepared, I think, for the super tie-break, and I was ready much better going into that, final. And we went straight up 3-0 up and then 5-3 down. The momentum shifted in so many ways, so many different ways that, I'm glad that eventually we came through that, and I actually had to come to the locker room and see the scoreboard to realize what score we actually won the super tie-break by.
Lots of praise pouring in for you, Rohan, but there was a lovely tweet from Mahesh Bhupati last night. In 1997, he won the French Open in mixed doubles. He became the first Indian to win a Grand Slam. 20 years later, you've won it now, and your Davis Cup captain is extremely pleased.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was, speaking to my wife, and I told her that, this is what in 1997, Mahesh was the first Indian to win a Grand Slam, which happened to be a mixed doubles also. And 20 years later, I'm competing for the same title, which is just fantastic. And it was a really wonderful message from, Hash. And he's always been a great friend of mine, and now he's our captain of the Davis Cup team. So, wonderful getting a lovely message from him. I've got some great messages from not only from him, from Sanya, from all the different athletes in India. I mean, a lot of, people pouring in with messages, which is really, really, encouraging, and it just inspires me to keep going and pushing harder now.
What a moment then for Rohan Bopanna. He's been one of the nicest guys on tour, and that perhaps explains why everyone was rushing in to congratulate him.